Upcoming 6 Coronation Street spoilers. Todd unique episode. Will and Meghan interrupted, and Joni lashes out. Viewers will see what is going on at the back of closed doorways for Todd and Theo. Buckle up. Coronation Street spoilers for upcoming screen. We are getting a bold, first of its type unique focused on Todd and Theo, and it is set to have every person talking. Meanwhile, Will and Meghan's quiet second is all of sudden reduced quick while Ben interrupts things. All that plus masses extra drama coming your manner in Coronation Street spoilers for upcoming 1. Todd's by no means been done earlier than unique episode. In a gripping one-strand unique that guarantees to extrude the panorama of the show. The police hit the street after a home incident is stated at Todd and Theo's flat. The anxiety has been effervescent below the floor for months. However, the advent of the government indicators that Theo's reign of terror has subsequently reached a breaking point. The episode unfolds via hidden cameras, CCTV and police body cams, revealing unsettling flashbacks of what truly happened. This stylistic preference is pretty powerful for a coercive managed storyline. By doing away with the conventional cleaning soap lens and viewing the abuse via cold, unblinking technology, I assume the target market may be pressured to confront the stark, terrifying truth of Todd's everyday life. As the fact portions itself together, fanatics are left wondering, will Theo's abuse subsequently be uncovered, or will Theo's manipulative allure control to give an explanation for away the violence one remaining time? The stakes have by no means been better for Todd. 2. Will and Meghan are interrupted with the aid of using Ben. Will maintains to conflict together along with his location at the cobbles. Will admits to Bernie he has no mates. So she ropes in Brody an awful lot to Will's annoyance. It is a well that means gesture from Bernie. However, forcing friendship not often works. And it simplest serves to focus on Will's isolation. As Meghan offers Will greater attention, Daniel notices Will is genuinely smitten. It is painful to observe Will misinterpret Meghan's kindness for romantic interest. His desperation for connection is making him liable to heartbreak. On his birthday, Ben and Eva act too busy to rejoice, leaving Will feeling driven aside. The traditional Marvel celebration setup is a recipe for catastrophe here. When Meghan later spends time with him, Will confuses assist for something extra. As the own circle of relatives prepares a marvel, Steve spots Will heading into Chariot Square, and while Ben tracks him down, what he unearths leaves every person taken aback and alarmed. Whatever Ben walks in on, it's miles clean that Will has crossed a line, and the fallout from this false impression may want to shatter his dating with the own circle of relatives entirely. 3. Dee Dee has a declaration to make. Dee Dee tells Ed she's landed a brand new task, and he is thrilled, establishing a party on the bistro. Ed is usually determined to rejoice his kids' successes, frequently overcompensating for beyond mistakes. But her 2D marvel leaves Ed, Michael and James bowled over. The Baileys aren't any strangers to bombshells. However, the bowled over silence shows this information complicates the own circle of relatives dynamic significantly. Later on, while James fails to show up for the meal, Dee Dee's exhilaration speedy turns to disappointment. I assume James's absence speaks volumes. His lack of ability to expose up for his sister shows he's fed on with the aid of using his personal secrets and techniques, particularly regarding Carl, and his selfishness is beginning to harm the folks who love him maximum. 4. George has his concerns. Todd attempts to smooth up the aftermath of remaining night's chaos. However, the fact remains a mystery. Seeing Todd frantically scrubbing away the proof of Theo's rage is a heartbreaking photograph of a sufferer shielding their abuser. When Bernie mentions she noticed the flat in disarray, George begins off evolved getting suspicious. George has regarded Todd for years. He is aware of while something does not upload up. Smiles firmly in location. Todd and Theo welcome George and Christina for lunch. Pretending all is rosy, the ecosystem at that lunch desk ought to be suffocating. George then drops a Marvel task provide for Todd, however will he bite? This task provide is a lifeline, a capability getaway path from the flat. However, Theo's manage can also additionally save you Todd from accepting it. and with George hinting he is aware of extra approximately the argument. Sponsored up with the aid of using Bernie's comments. Simply how lengthy can the pair preserve up the charade? It is obvious that the partitions are last in on Theo, and a cornered animal is usually the maximum risky. 5. James drops Carl in it with Abby. James cringes as he rereads the message he drunkenly dispatched Carl, and Speedy tells him to overlook it ever happened. Alcohol and secrets and techniques are a risky blend in Weatherfield. But while Carl admits he has misplaced his phone, James warns him he'd higher pray Abby does not locate it. The panic is putting in. They are sitting on a ticking time bomb. Carl subsequently tracks it down. However, now no longer earlier than Abby Webster peeks on the screen. Abby is sharp. She isn't always one to overlook a detail. With the reality dangling in the front of her, Carl's left scrambling to give an explanation for himself. If Abby connects the dots concerning Carl and James, the fallout will smash a couple of relationships. Carl's allure is strolling out of road. 6. Joni lashes out. Troubles brewing for Joni and Shanice after they are stuck seeking to swipe a bottle of Prosecco from the Nook shop. This performing out is a cry for interest from women who've had their worlds become upside down. Later, Sally and Tim try and ease matters over with a festive breakfast, however it would not take lengthy for the drama to return. Sally's tries to pressure an excellent Christmas are admirable, however possibly tone-deaf to the trauma the women are processing. When Joni mentions a celebration invite, Sally shuts it down. Caution the girls are awful have an impact on and reminding her that Fizz and her children are coming over. Sally prioritizing appearances over Joni's goals is the trigger. Furious, Joni loses it, and simply as Fizz arrives, the teenager throws a tantrum that ends with the Christmas tree toppling in magnificent fashion. The fallen tree is the ideal metaphor for the chaos Joni feels inside. It goes to be a totally messy Christmas at number 4.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.